All right, guys, so we're coming off of Rifle Range Road. We're going into a small neighborhood called Center Lakes. Center Lakes is a community of about 75 homes, and they were built between 1992 and 1996. And you can see, as we ride through here, they've got some good trees, fairly mature landscape. The homes back here range in square footage anywhere between, I'd say 1,400 to 2,300 square feet. And one of the advantages, I think, of this neighborhood is, proximity to everything. You can be on Isle of Palms at the beach in 5 minutes. You can be at the town center in about the same amount of time. And you also are able to, access all the shops in Seaside Farms. So really good location, and I would say on a bad traffic day, you're probably looking at about 15 minutes to downtown Charleston, so we're not talking about a big drive to get to a lot of things. Again, the houses, pretty common of the period in which they were built, a lot of brick-fronted houses. Some newer houses back here that would have hardy plank, but for the most part, these would all be brick fronts. They have a community clubhouse, and they have a paddling and sailing lake. You can kind of see as we go over the canals, and you can see out to the lake to the right. So a lot of times people want waterfront property in Mount Pleasant, and you don't want to stay in a $500,000 price point, being a good location. Center Lakes is a place that I would recommend. It's affordable, and some of the houses have been redone recently, so you're not going to find, even though the houses were built in the early 90s, you're still going to find stuff that's, in some cases updated to modern day standards. All right, y'all, so we are back out on Rifle Range Road. Again, we're gonna be working our way through Mount Pleasant over the next several weeks to months, potentially, as we cover all the neighborhoods that are in Mount Pleasant. And we just finished up in Center Lakes, and we're gonna go down to, honestly, a very similar neighborhood called Lake Shore. Lake Shore is, again, right off Rifle Range Road. This neighborhood has about 82 homes. They were mainly built in the late 90s, mid 90s into early 2004. And it's very similar to Center Lakes, which is, just one neighborhood up from this. But Lake Shore, the homes, sit on fairly good sized lots. Some of the houses have are canal oriented. So you have, if you're not on the lake, you have a canal view. They have a small pool and a clubhouse area. And, just one road in here, so you don't have through traffic. Some of the bigger neighborhoods, Park West and Dunes West, which we'll get to down the road, you have traffic that flows through the neighborhoods. Back here, you've got one main road that comes in that services this. The square footage of houses, pretty good square footage, most of them anywhere from 2,000 square feet, even up to nearly 4,000 square feet back here. If you're looking for a single story house, and a lot of people are, as I help people, whether they're retirement age or getting there and they're wanting something single story, there's a lot of houses back here that are single story and master down, which, even if you're buying a house and not planning on needing a master down, I think from a resale standpoint, as the population ages, it's probably a good strategy just to help you resell it one day. You can see back over the lake, real pretty vistas off the back. So you can fish, some people swim in that, and you can kayak. So depending on your interest, I think Lake Shore offers you a lot of opportunities to access the water. About 5 minutes to Isle of Palms, probably 15 or so minutes to downtown Charleston from here. And again, easy access to a lot of shopping. The town center is nearby, as well as Seaside Farms, so you can get to the things that you need on a daily basis. A lot of good shops and restaurants. We'll be going into Seaside Farms here in a little while, and that's one of the communities that seems to always be popular. But that wraps up what we're doing in Lake Shore. Okay, heading into Hidden Lakes, again, another lake-oriented community. Approximately about 100 homes back in Hidden Lakes. The homes were built between the 1990s and 2000. You have a pool, you have a boat storage back here, you have docks. Many of the houses have docks as they sit on the lake and on the canals. And I think, one of the things that's interesting about this community back here is they have a seasonal pumping station. So for irrigation for the lawns, they have more or less, an aqueduct system that, accumulates water when it rains a lot, and then it's pumped back out to the neighborhoods where the houses can use the rainwater to irrigate their lawns, which is kind of cool. They have tennis courts, they have, again, a pool and a small clubhouse. And there's not too many roads back here. I think there's only 4 roads that kind of wrap around the lake. So, you have, again, not a whole lot of through traffic coming through here. Homes are in the 3 to 5 bedroom range, and in most cases, ranging from probably 2,000 square feet on up to 4,200 square feet. And you can get, I mean, this is not going to be a lake that you're going to be able to get, a big boat out on, but you could get something small and motorized. I mean, people, will sail small boats out here. Honestly, it's a really good lake just to kayak on. Okay, so we're getting ready to head into one of the more popular neighborhoods in Mount Pleasant. It's called Seaside Farms, and Seaside Farms was originally built by, majority of the houses back here were built by Syntex, which is now Pulte Homes. Many of the homes back here were built for a price point that they're selling well above these days. So the finish level, I guess, is what I'm trying to get to on a lot of these houses inside of Seaside Farms is going to be more builder grade stuff than what you would find, in a similar price point if you went to Park West or Dunes West, because of the great location of this. It's a master plan community. There's about 505 acres total, centrally located in Mount Pleasant. Very close to Isle of Palms, and it's tied into Seaside Farms, which is a big shopping complex we'll ride through here in a few minutes. Houses back here range anywhere from the high 1,900 square foot range on up to a little over 3,000 square feet. It's been around since, I want to say, probably the mid-90s is when they first started building houses back here, but just a great setup, great location, and people just tend to gravitate. Even during the downturn in the economy, these house prices, even though there were some short sales and foreclosures, the house prices really held up very well back here. And I think it's really, they always say in real estate, location, location, location. And I think that this is a very well located spot. Getting to Charleston's very easy from here. And again, if you're a beach person, it's hard to beat being 5 minutes away from the beach, which Seaside Farms is very close. Seaside Farms is kind of broken up into a couple of subsections. One of the custom-built subsections is Cathedral Oaks, which we're getting ready to come into. And you can see as we get back here a little further, the houses go from being on crawl space to being raised, elevated houses, which is, down here we call it a low country style house. Cathedral Oaks is in the back of Seaside Farms, and most all of these houses were custom built, or some of them were recently spec built as the market's improved. People had bought these lots and you're seeing some spec building being done. And again, for the most part, most of these are custom built homes. And this neighborhood backs up to the backside of Isle of Palms. So you've got some really great vistas off of one side of it. The other side kind of backs up to more lakes and canals. One thing do keep in mind about Seaside Farms, and I think, as we've done these videos, we kind of talked about flood zones. Seaside Farms, in a lot of spots, is in a V flood zone, which is, again, if you're building your house up high enough, it's going to impact your flood insurance costs. It's not going to be astronomical, but it's something I think you definitely need to keep in mind when you're looking. If you come back into Cathedral Oaks and Seaside Farms, realize that you want to probably do a little bit of shopping on the front side as far as your home insurance and your flood insurance costs go. There are about 72 homes back here, anywhere from probably 2,100, I think, to a little over 4,000 square feet. You have access to a neighborhood pool. Again, a lot of these back up to the Intercoastal Waterway. Some of your schools that are nearby would be maybe Whitesides, Lang, and Wando High School is probably about a 15-minute drive from where we're sitting right now in the back of Seaside Farms, again, which is called Cathedral Oaks. And we're going to go look at one of the townhome complexes that's back here inside of Seaside Farms next. All right, so we're coming out of the main neighborhood in Seaside Farms. Back to our left is the commercial district of Seaside, and we're going to go up there here in a few minutes. But first of all, we're going to ride back here and look at some of the townhomes and condos. Over to our left is going to be a condo neighborhood called Long Grove, and we're not going to ride back through there, but those were apartments that were condoed off during the boom last time. So they're apartment level finishes. And one thing to keep in mind about condo conversions, which is what those were, is your soundproofing is not going to be as good. You're not going to have as much insulation. An apartment doesn't have to be built to the same standards that a condo does. But those were sold off and, pretty much have been redone now, at least the exteriors, new roof, the siding's been redone in most places. And from what I understand, the regime is in pretty good shape, and the regime is just basically money that manages the insurance and the upkeep of the properties. So everything seems to be good back there. But where we're going right now is Some people say Marias, I say Marias. It could be, I guess, either way. But it's also in Seaside Farms, and these are townhomes, and these were built with more of a luxury buyer in mind. Pretty good finishes. I mean, they were built in the late 90s and early 2000s. So, you know, it was a pretty good time for finish quality. Nothing like you're gonna get in a brand new house, but a lot of these, they're attached to each other just like townhomes. You park underneath them. All of them have elevator shafts in them, and some of them you'll find with an elevator already installed. But you know, if you're not wanting to go up and down all these steps, but you kind of like the feel back here, you have the ability to put an elevator in. 2 to 3 bedrooms in most cases. Some of them are all one level. I mean, there's a few back here that are one level. Most of them are 2 levels, 2 living levels, and a 3rd level if you count the garage. Square footage ranges anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 square feet. They have a swimming pool, again, tied into the shopping complex, what we're gonna ride through here in a few minutes. The only thing that I would say about these is to look at the regime costs. The regime costs on these are a little more expensive than some other complexes, and it's because it's proximity to the ocean, which is literally right over this row of trees to our right. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind is the cost to maintain these as far as insurance. I know they've worked on getting the insurance down over the last couple of years. I think it's probably a better deal than what it used to be. Great neighborhood for people who want low maintenance and want an area that's gonna offer you the ability to get to Isle of Palms in a couple of minutes and be in downtown Charleston really quick. I like Seaside Farms and I like Marias. If you guys want more information about this neighborhood, you can always give us a call and we can set up a tour of these townhomes. All right, so we're coming out of the backside of Seaside Farms. We're going to start to move towards the commercial district of Seaside. One subsection of Seaside Farms that I want to ride you guys through is Windward Point. And these are mainly people that are retirement age that live back here. It's not part of the Frankie home, which this, you know, Seaside Farms is tied into the Frankie home, an offshoot of the Lutheran church that ministers to people of age. And Windward Point is, I think, you know, really great setup if you are retired and you don't want steps. These are condos, they're not townhomes, but they have an elevator, a central elevator, 2 of them, and then they have all lake views off the back, and I don't know if we'll be able to see it through the little pull-through we're going through right now, but you've got, you know, really good views. You go out to the pool, and then I went out to the lake behind that. But these, again, would be good if you're wanting, you know, 1-floor living and elevator access. And the finish level, honestly, on these is pretty good. I mean, these were built, I want to say, probably about 2006. They sold on paper pretty quick, and then the economy started to turn the other way, I guess, as they were finishing them up, and they, you know, a couple of them sat, but I don't believe there's any on the market right now, but it's a very small little complex, and it ties in very neatly to the shops at Seaside Farms. And you have a grocery store back here. You have a Harris Teeter. It used to be a Piggly Wiggly. As we finish up in Seaside Farms, we're going to kind of spin through a little bit more of the commercial district back here. People really like this. I mean, it's nice. It's very pedestrian friendly. You've got a lot of shops and restaurants. One of my favorite restaurants, which I think I've highlighted a lot before, is Opal Restaurant. You know, across the street from Opal is Basil, which is a Thai restaurant. Gilligan's, which is, I wouldn't say that's a very good seafood restaurant, but they seem to pack them in anyway. They've opened a French bakery over here. I'm not even going to try to say the name of it, but the couple that moved over here with their daughter, and they were actually from France, so you're going to get, you know, really true French bakery inside of Seaside Farms. And you also have what everybody else, it seems like everybody wants to go to. I'm not much of a shopper, so the Target. So you got a Target back here. And again, Seaside Farms is not very easy to see from the road because it's really cut back behind a thick row of trees. Riviera Apartments recently opened, and these are luxury townhomes and apartments, and some of them are furnished, so they built these for people who wanted to have a second home, who didn't want to have to deal with the maintenance of a second home. I think that they can be, you know, maybe good options if you're considering moving here and you just want to taste a flavor of what it's like to live back here. Riviera Apartments and condos would be a good place to start. Directly across the street from Seaside Farms is Sweetgrass.